Tuesday, stars like Donny Osmond, Kelly Preston, and Coolio test the limits of fear on the first ever Celebrity Fear Factor. Tuesday, 8/7 Central here on NBC.
You want to know fear? Get in front of Benny at the buffet line. That's fear.
All right, Marty.
Well, Ward, turns out you were right and Baldwin was wrong. It was not a vibration. It was an engine problem. And what a disappointing way to end your season, which has been so consistent here of late.
Yeah, it is. You know, all year, particularly from mid-season to now, if we finish the race, we're going to have a shot at being in top 10, top 5, maybe win the race. Terry and the guys have worked really hard this year. We've had 2 DNFs with the motors, but for the most part, they've come a huge way, and really proud of them guys. The DNFs from the wrecks, guys hitting us a little bit every now and then, that killed us. We're a top 10 team, and we just got to fix our motor program so it runs all day and not have bad luck on the racetrack, and we'll be in the top 10 in points next year. But Terry and them have done an awesome job all year.
I asked him if he was aware of the right front problems out on the racetrack. He said absolutely, and it did play into his mind out there on the racetrack, guys.
All right, Marty, thanks. Ward Burton and Buckshot Jones, the only 2 drivers in the garage. Ward with the engine problem, and Buckshot on the bad end of this one in turn 4. It's the New Hampshire 300, presented by the new film Behind Enemy Lines, NASCAR on NBC. Little holiday weekend matinee for you. 2001 season finale today from the New Hampshire International Speedway. Here's our Napa Field summary. Jeff Gordon has done most of the leading so far, 133 of 149 laps. Gordon has been out in front. Others who've led, Sterling Marlin and Kevin Harvick. 4 caution flags. Michael Waltrip cut a right front tire. We've had 2 competition yellows because of tire problems. And the most recent caution, the Buckshot Jones crash up in turn number 4. Only car officially out of the race is Ward Burton with the engine failure, though Buckshot Jones has been towed off to the garage. What would be his 10th DNF of the season. Did not finish.
Todd Bodine, 12 out of the 35 that we've run so far. Marty, have you caught up with Buckshot?
I have, Benny, and I had to run, so I'm tired. But anyway, Buckshot, that's not a good way to end the season. What happened? Was it a right front?
No, it's not. First, I'd like to say I hated my wife, Gina. You know, I hate it for everybody at Georgia Pacific. No, it wasn't the tire going down. It was the one car putting a bumper to the back of us. I guess he needed a caution, and he got in the back of us. But, you know, things like that happen. You know, I don't know. I hate the way it ended for the, for the end of the season, but that's the end of it.
And that is what we saw from Kenny Wallace's in-car cameras. We get ready to go back to green, Alan.
Marty. Why did you say the right front?
All right, well, Kenny was about to get lapped by Jeff Gordon. He did when he got tangled up with Buckshot.
Trick question.
Now he's going to try and get that lap back.
Green flag, green flag.
There you see at Williams Race Chase, all the cars with the bubbles are the cars on the lead lap. Cars on the inside. 1 or more laps down.
Jeff Gordon quickly clearing Kenny Wallace, putting himself that 1-car gap back to 2nd place, Sterling Marlin.
And Sterling Marlin, once again, tried right sides only, just 2 tires.
Remember the first few laps of the race, Tony Stewart kept trying to get the nose inside of Marlin.
He's got it way inside now.
Clear behind the 33.
Better hurry, the 18's going to be there.
Close the door. We are just across halfway. You saw the stat there. Leading at halfway has not guaranteed you anything this season.
Majority of the time, it's guaranteed you're going to lose.
Marlin in the 40, Bobby Labonte in the 18. That's for 3rd place. Right behind them, Robert Presley in 5th. He's in the bright yellow car. And the other machine, the black car there, is Kyle Petty, the 45. He is 28th place, 1 lap down. Six of Mark Martin racing Presley for that spot. course, Bobby Labonte, winner last Sunday at Atlanta. Didn't look like he was going to win.
No, it sure looked like Jerry Nadeau was going to win when the white flag was thrown. One more lap, but Nadeau did not make it back. He ran out of fuel. He made it back, but he was coasting at about 30 miles per hour, and 3 cars passed him.
Here comes Bobby. Well, not quite.
I think it's a matter of time here.
Keep looking.
Yeah. Sterling just can't keep it low in the center of the corner. That's where these guys are getting the advantage on it.
No more competition, yellow club.
Yeah, that message just came across the NASCAR radio. There will be no more competition yellows. NASCAR telling the teams, you've had enough cautions to fix your car and do what you can with them. You're on your own for the rest of the race. Let's go to Dave Burns.
Alan, Sterling Marlin, before that last round of pit stops, was the tightest his car has been all day, and they took on only 2 tires. I also checked to see what adjustments they made to try to fix that tight situation. They made a track bar adjustment, and hopefully that will help him turn the steering wheel and get the car to turn through the corners.
Well, it's not working right now.
No, it's really, if anything, is pushing as bad as I've seen it all day. Talking about the 40 car when he goes.
Just, you know, you march, drive your line.
When he goes down the corner, it just will not stay down. Just go straight to the top of the track. You can keep your car down there on the bottom of the racetrack, but you have to slow down so much to do it. Better off to let it go in the corner at speed and drift up the racetrack a little bit.
Without question, the headline of the day so far, tires. Tires tearing up. Marty.
Well, with Phil Homer from Goodyear, and let's start off with a lot of blistered tires, Phil. Why?
Well, what happened is after the September race was postponed, there was a lot of concern that racing this late in November, there would be not as good a grip on the track with those tires. So we went to something that was softer, and we ended up with a day that was over 50 degrees, which no one expects during this time of year. So we're working our way through it.
Did you see blistering problems this morning in practice, and did you suggest to teams that they scuff tires?
No, we only saw one tire in practice this morning, and that was a camber problem that he had. It had nothing to do with blistering.
So is it feasible at all for you to bring 2 different sets of tires, let's say this softer compound and maybe a harder compound to the racetrack at the same time, and base your decision off of weather on the day of the race?
And that would really be hard to do, because when we mount tires for these races, a normal race here is 1,800 tires to 1,900. So to do that, it takes 3 days as it is. And I don't think people have enough wheels either, so we have to make our decision and live with it.
Now, there will be no more competition cautions today. A, are you worried? And B, what suggestions will you make to teams to stop the blistering?
The teams, to stop the blistering, we've been recommending finding scuffed tires that they ran before that not blister, and putting them up on the pit to run again, because a heat cycle makes it harder. Otherwise, the blisters have improved, if that can be said. They're a little bit better than before. Some guys who are running up front are having no problem at all now. This is a normal progression during a race when something like this happens.
He said they have seen some teams, as he just said, that have had no problems today, Alan, and the teams that are having problems, he is suggesting using scuffed tires for the rest of the race if they can.
All right, Marty, thanks. Guys?
And one of the guys that has not been having any problems is the guy that's sitting in second place, and that's good to know as a driver that you can run the car as hard as you want. You don't have to take care of the tires, and everybody else does.
I don't think that Bobby Labonte, his teammate, talking about this is Tony Stewart, who hasn't had any tire trouble. And I don't think Bobby Labonte, his teammate, has had any tire trouble so far. You have to check down the pits and make sure, but those might be the only 2 cars that haven't blistered a tire.
Will it play out in deciding who wins this race? Well, it's a good chance it might. We've seen Jeff Gordon have some problems on his car. He's been the dominant man out in the lead, but no more competition yellows. They've got to keep all 4 tires on that thing till the checkered flag. on NBC from the New Hampshire International Speedway. It's the New Hampshire 300 presented by the new film Behind Enemy Lines. 168 laps up, 300 complete. Jeff Gordon continues to be the man out in front. He's led 153 of 168 so far.
And he's getting quicker. Watching his lap times, they get about a little bit faster every lap.
Gordon extending his lead over Tony Stewart to 3.6 seconds, with Bobby Labonte, Sterling Marlin, and Robert Presley rounding out the top 5.
I mean, really, truly, Wally, you said getting quicker. I can't believe that the 24 car, Jeff Gordon, still running this fast. This morning in practice at 9 o'clock, they were running like 29.50. Jeff Gordon last lap ran 29.52.
Yep, that is got a good balanced car there.
But we've seen his car. We've seen some of the tires that came off his car with some of the blisters in them.
Yeah. And what it feels like when you have like a right rear blister or even a right front for that matter, it feels like if somebody put 50 or 60 extra pounds in your car tire, you could feel it. The tire gets really hard and really slippery. And that's what a blister tire feels like. And when it's on the right rear, let me tell you something, you know when it's blistered.
Now, while we've talked about Gordon having some issues with his tires, let's get an update on Tony Stewart. He's the second place car. Bill, how about him?
Been a great day so far for Tony. In fact, after that last pit stop, he said the car is great. We're simply out here riding right now. So Tony Stewart, who, as we've been underlined, has not had any tire problems, having a good run here at Loudon. Dave?
Bill, his teammate Bobby Labonte was reminded by crew chief Jimmy Maycard during the caution that we are one race team with 2 cars. This team exemplifies that as good as any team on this circuit. And right now, Bobby does not have very many tire issues at all. Obviously, they work together in the shop. Both cars are worked on by the same mechanics, and so they're set up well so they don't abuse these tires. The only issue that the 18 car of Labonte has had is the right rear has blistered just a little bit today. They've rebalanced that car, and Maycard tells me that it's better now.
All of a sudden, the 20 car goes down in turn 3 and just goes straight up the racetrack. Did he get in the corner too hard, or did all of a sudden the right front tire slide across the racetrack? Looks like he's back to speed now.
Wave by. Bobby's faster. Let him go.
Could be. Bobby was catching him pretty quick there. The last 2 or 3 laps, it looked like Bobby was about 1/10.5 to 2/10 of a second lap faster than Tony was.
Well, maybe that's exactly what Tony Stewart decided to look. I'm not going to hold up my teammate. I know I've been told that he's faster. I'll just get out of the way and let him go, because put some pressure on Jeff Gordon.
And that's the best thing that they can do, I think. Instead, I know they're riding, but they're running hard. If they can put the pressure on Jeff, Jeff's going to have to run a little bit harder, and that's going to be harder on his tires.
It's been 32 laps since the last set of pit stops. About 30. When did they go back to green? 150. So it's been 25 since they went back to green. So we'll keep an eye on the tire situation and see how things develop. We'll see if Bobby Labonte can close in on Jeff Gordon for the race lead.